ladies and gentlemen, Sprainandus here, and today I'm just gonna be recording some more Gears of War 5 multiplayer gameplay. But at the same time, though, it's just also just gonna be like a chill video. And the match I'm about to be doing is usually just, it's just basically capturing, King of the Hill, basically. It's just basically King of the Hill. There'd be like this large, ring on the circle, and yeah, that's pretty much, what the match is really all about, per se. But other than that, though, I guess what I could really talk about is usually just Gears of War in general. Yeah, maybe I could talk about Gears of War in general. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be like like a good old topic to, I guess, talk about, really, though. But honestly, though, I think I've said this before, but I'm not even sure if I have, though, but honestly, I feel like that Gears of War has got to be like my favorite, has got to be like my favorite gaming franchise, honestly. I feel like it is kind of like my favorite gaming franchise, though. And the reason why I like it is because, I mean, considering though that I just find the lore of the Gears of War franchise to be quite interesting in general. In fact, despite me playing, the video games, playing through the campaigns and such, I have read other pieces of Gears of War, lore, usually involving with novels as well as, comic books that are being put into graphic novel format, the IDW comics. Yeah. Funny thing though, really though, is about. I remember like buying, some of the IDW comics in one of the local comic book stores. But apparently though, and apparently though, the moment I actually got the Gears of War Omnibus, two-volume graphic novels, apparently though, that's come to my conclusion that yeah, that the Omnibus graphic novels is actually the same as the comic books that I actually got at that comic book store. But I didn't get all of them. No, no, no. I didn't get all of the comics. I only just got like, some comics here and there though. I'm not even sure if the comics are still there on that store though, but eh, I kind of don't really want to buy any, comics, like comic book issues per se. If I could just, if I could just get them all in like in graphic novel format. In fact, I kind of prefer reading, graphic novels personally, though. I don't have like a basket where, because there's basically like this container. I did say basket, but it's actually a container where where people basically like they just put, they put issues of of comic books inside of some little plastic sealing bag, and then they just, lay it, and then they just like like set it down in that, or lay it to the side of the container, basically. But me, I just basically just rather prefer reading the graphic novels. That's what I basically prefer. I just prefer reading the graphic novels. Yeah. And every time I read the graphic novels as well as reading the books, it just got me wondering that yeah, it's real. It's just really refreshing. Not only is it really refreshing, but also pretty interesting to at least see what the events of Gears of War is like outside of the games. Outside of the games. Stuff that happened after the first Gears of War game, or before the Gears of War game, like the Pendulum Wars. In fact, maybe at some point, maybe there should totally be like a Gears of War game that is like set on the Pendulum Wars. I'm not even sure if there will be. I think it could be like a really good idea because after all, that first mission in Gears of War 4 where you're playing, where it just shows like these flashbacks and you're just playing as, as a random cog, a soldier. That part where you're literally killing UIR soldiers on the Battle of Ashfo Fields. Though apparently, though, I think the battle that was portrayed in that is kind of different than the novel about the Ashfo Fields that I read. I don't know, really, though. Maybe it depends on which part of the Ashfo Fields. Usually in the novel, it's like I think it's set on. Yeah, it's set on a facility, I think, but I mean, I mean, usually though, usually though in that novel, I mean, Marcus Phoenix and and Dom's older brother are literally fighting in the jungles, and I think yeah, like Dom is with Hoffman, and there's also like and there's also like this character by the name of Baitak, who is basically a Pasanga, who yeah Pasanga, and all the other Pasangas are like they partake in that battle. I mean, again, I really don't know. I really don't know per se. I mean, maybe what's seen in Gears of War 4 is probably a lot different than what it is in the novel. Maybe it's just some part, like maybe it's something that was like not seen in the book. And I guess maybe and I guess what is not seen in the book is probably put in the game. I guess. I mean, I don't know. But you get the picture really though. Like I think maybe a Gears of War game set on the Pendulum Wars could be a pretty interesting idea. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be pulled off though. I mean, sure, you're just only gonna be killing UIR soldiers, but maybe there could be like UIR soldiers that, that could be, I don't know, like maybe, using other sorts of different weapons. Maybe there could be like UIR soldiers that are like tough to kill. Well, I wouldn't say tough to kill, more like, it just requires you to like to shoot like a fuck ton of bullets. Like a boomer. Like in Boomer, I mean the first Gears of War game, I mean you had to like use a lot of bullets to kill a boomer. It wasn't until that in Gears of War 2 and then and then Gears of War 3 that boomers felt like they're nerfed or something. Yeah, it felt like that they're kinda nerfed. But other than that though, yeah, I mean who knows? I mean who knows I guess for how a Pendulum Wars game would be like, but yeah. But like reading those novels, and as well as like the graphic novels. I mean, there are like I guess like there are like a few Gears of War books that I have yet to read, as well as I think maybe the Hive Busters comic book issue. I haven't read the Hive Busters yet. I mean, I think the Hive Busters are interesting characters to say the least. I think they're all right. But yeah, but something tells me that there's really like not a lot of Gears of War like novels to read. Something that tells me that there's like not a lot. Like I read the three Karen Travis books. I think there's like another one. I think it's called The Slab. I think I've yet to read that book, but I might read that book at some point. Yeah, I might read that book at some point. But yeah, it's kind of like it's yeah, it's kind of like that really. That that I just think the lore for the Gears of War is pretty interesting though. Usually involving where yeah, like involving with like with stuff involving with the Pendulum Wars, as well as like stuff that happens. Like it just I mean it just amazes me like how in the Jacinto Remnant like in the Jacinto's Remnant book like the stuff that happens before the Hammer of Dawn strike. It's pretty interesting really that there's like these evacuations and yeah all of a sudden like I thought maybe there could be like a locust attack on this on an evacuation on an evacuation point where there be like all these vehicles, stuck in traffic. At least that's what I thought. But I don't know. Yeah. I suppose I really would want to like talk more about the Gears of War lore. I mean, considering that this King of the Hill match is I guess it's about to be over like like shortly later. Um, yeah. I guess yeah, I guess I'm just likely just gonna, you know, just end things off right here and enjoy the gameplay. But yeah, it's basically yeah, Gears of War is literally like my favorite. You know, it's like my favorite gaming franchise to say the least. I mean, I would say like maybe like my number one favorite, but I don't know. Maybe it is one of my favorite gaming franchises, but yeah. Yeah, I think. Should I say it? Yeah, I think I should say it. Yeah. Enjoy the gameplay, and that's gonna be for today's video. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe with the notification bell, and I'll be seeing you guys on next video. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Yeah.